Hello, this is the story of the first rainbow. A very long time ago, when God made the world, people lived and played happily together. In the world there was nothing bad, ever, and there was no one sad, ever. This was because God made it all. He was in charge of it all, and he loved it all. People could see God and speak to God and just enjoy being with God. But then one day, the people did a terrible thing. They decided they didn't want to do what God said. They decided they wanted a world without God in charge. God calls this sin, and sin spoils things. Now things were sometimes bad, and people were sometimes sad. People didn't care about each other. They were wicked and violent towards each other. But they kept on sinning because they didn't want God to be in charge. Everyone except a man called Noah, who always tried to do what God said. And God said to Noah, "This is not the way I wanted the earth to be at all. I'm going to start all over again. I will destroy the people that I made, and with them the animals and the birds. I'm sorry that I ever made them. But I will make an agreement with you, Noah. I will show you how to build a boat big enough to save 2 of every living creature. And then I will save you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives in a boat with them." Noah did everything that God asked him to do, and 7 days later it started to rain. Noah and his family got into the boat. The animals began to arrive. They came in pairs, 2 of every kind of wild and domestic animal and every kind of bird. They came on board the boat, and God shut the door behind them. For 40 days it rained. Underground streams burst and the waters rose, lifting the boat high above the earth. Still it rained. The flood covered the highest mountains. There was no ground for the animals. There was nowhere for birds to land. And still it rained. Everything on the earth died. Birds, farm animals, wild animals, and all people. Only Noah and his company on the ship lived. When it stopped raining, Noah looked out of the boat and could see only water. For many weeks the boat floated without any land for its precious cargo to set foot. Noah wondered whether they would ever see land and trees and grass again. But God had not forgotten them. He sent a great wind which blew across the earth, and gradually the waters began to go down. Eventually Noah could see the tops of mountains starting to appear above the water. Noah sent out a dove from the boat to look for land. At first the dove couldn't find a place to perch, but the next time it went, it came back with a leafy twig in its beak. And Noah knew that somewhere there must be dry land with plants growing. Still, it was many days before the land was dry enough for God to call Noah and all his passengers to come out of the boat and find a place to live. When Noah first put his foot on dry land, after all that time floating on the water, the first thing he did was to thank God for saving him and his family from the flood. And God was pleased with Noah. He said to Noah, "I'm making a promise to you and all your children who will come after you, and all the living creatures that came out of the boat with you. Never again will I destroy the earth with a flood. And here is a sign of my promise, said God. Noah looked, and there appeared above him the most beautiful colours Noah had ever seen, stretching across the sky. And God said, every time a rainbow appears in the sky, I will remember this agreement. And every time you see it, it will remind you of the everlasting promise that I have made to you and all your children and every living creature on the earth. Bye-bye for now.